Welcome back.
Happy to be back.
It's been too long.
I don't know why I love this tune. Vibing. It's been like over a month,
Yeah.
I think. When did we record the last one? Or like first
The
week of
7th of
January or
January,
something.
something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
like it's basically been a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
You're back. A lot of new additions on your body, I guess.
It's a good...
And I guess it's a weird way of putting it.
Merch?
Yeah, merch.
Just Star Wars merch.
Yeah.
It's been a good, it's an interesting month. Quiet. Got some sun. I don't know. Anyone can tell.
No.
I came home and then I was like in a home for a week before I left. So I think I lost all of the baby tan that I did get after 3 weeks
For a
or so in
Jamaican
Florida.
Italian person.
I don't tan very well. I
don't
go
tan.
olive at best.
That's nice, though.
But I have to spend like a lot of time. Or I get like
More than a month?
hardcore.
Oh, yeah. Already a buzzer.
I know. Lame. I go like hardcore farmer tan, sock tan. God forbid I go golfing, glove tan.
Oh,
Like, it's
the
just-
glove tan.
Yeah, it's not a good. It's not a good look between like pale and then Anyways,
So, how's your trip?
it was good. First time flying with a baby. That was nerve wracking, to say the least. But she was for the most part really good. Yeah, I didn't realize how much shit you need when you have a baby to travel with, like through an airport and stuff. We have like a car seat, and then like we bought a seat for her, so it was like we had the row instead of like carrying her on our person, which you can apparently do.
Isn't that expensive for a baby?
It's Florida. We found like good tickets anyways. We weren't flying anything. It was like Rouge, so it wasn't like crazy expensive.
Okay.
But the thought was like, we went through this whole like thought process. Okay, do we buy a seat so we can just put the car seat in the seat? Do we check the car seat? And then like if the car seat gets damaged, we're kind of fucked. And then we need to go buy a new car seat. And that's the cost of a ticket anyways. If we don't bring the car seat, then we don't bring our stroller. And then we get a stroller from like, we went to like my in-laws, so it's a very like snowbird grandparents community anyway. So there's like loaner strollers, but it wasn't ours and it wasn't big, and like this whole thought process. So it just made more sense to get the seat, and then we could just put the car seat in the seat by the window. She wanted to sleep, she could sleep. It was nice. We had the whole row. We didn't bug anybody. On the way back, there was another family behind us. It was kind of nice. That there was a lot of kids on that flight on the way home, but on the way back there was another family behind us, but it was just the two of them, and then they had to carry their daughter in the seat, and then the aisle seat was some poor lady, and then every time the kid had to go to the bathroom, it was just like two parents up, back, kid, boom, kids like tossing shit around in the seat. It was nice to have the whole
row is way more comfortable.
Yeah, she was good on the way there. The way back, the descent kind of wrecked her. Like it was very, very screaming, crying, angry baby. And at first I was like, this is gonna suck when she screams and like causes a scene, because I'm gonna care that like everyone else is this is the baby on the plane that's being super annoying. Didn't give a shit. It was just so heartbreaking. It was just like she's like wailing. You're like, I'm trying the thing and the next thing and all the stuff that I've got. Thanks. And anyways, it was okay. We made it through both flights. Just a lot of stuff to carry, like a car seat and a stroller in its own bag that's basically the size of a suitcase, and then a carry-on, and like
it's hard enough to travel by yourself
and a baby. And loading it all on the plane, and then like exit, and there's all these toys and whatever.
Mando makes it look so easy.
Yeah, exactly right. If you have your own ship, it's a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
So next time, just fly private. I get it. I can't.
That's a good entry point to a big part of your trip. You picked up a lot of toys, it looks like.
A few. A few of them are here. We went to because we went to hang out with the in-laws, we got to leave Ella with them for a couple of days. Didn't do a family trip. We just went the two of us to go to Disney for a couple of days. We did Epcot and then Hollywood Studios the next day, primarily to do like the Star Wars World stuff, right? Epcot was cool. I've never been to Epcot, I don't think, and they have a very like...
What's that?
One of the parks at Disney.
Okay.
And they have a very like around the world. There's two portions of it. There's like the upper part where a lot of the rides and stuff are, and then there's like a huge lake where they have fireworks show at night, which was crazy. But around the lake, they have like all these country pavilions, and in the country pavilions, there's like cool food and like just shops and stuff like that. Not so much in terms of like rides and things, but they also had like, it was like a some exhibit type of thing that was going on there that was like more cultural and stuff. But the food, they had like specifically like really cool food that day.
Was it good?
Yeah, we just ate our way around the world, and it wasn't like I was expecting to get bankrupt by going and buying like a little bit of food here and there. It was like $7 for like they had a
US.
Yeah. But like we had like a deconstructed BLT that was just like the best piece of like pork belly that I've ever had. What did Lauren get? A deconstructed like French onion soup.
Deconstructed? So
yeah, so it's like when they go like real fancy high dining and they cut like everything is like its own like little thing, and then they take what's in a French onion soup. Let's say they take an onion and then they take onion extract and they make it like into a wafer somehow, and like it's just I don't know, it's weird.
Huh.
The French onion soup was in like a soup dumpling format kind of. Yeah, it was kind of neat.
Huh.
And then there was the Japanese place was cool. There was a lot of like katsu and like sushi donut and blah blah blah. It's just all sorts of different cool food. Tacos. There's a
You're making me so hungry.
I know. We're gonna go get lunch
yet.
after this. I'm starving now.
And we're going to Chinatown, so.
Oh yeah, hot pot. That was cool. We did all the rides there. This is a shout out to like if you're going to Disney, get the Genie Plus thing. It's basically like a line skip essentially, and it was like. It's like $15 a head for the day. You're already paying so much to be at the park, right? And then you just like you look at the app and you see what's the next available time and you lock it in, and then you can. Oh. And Lauren found some hack for it that if you like book your first one late enough in the day and you're going early, usually you can't book the next one until you've done what you currently have booked or 2-hour time has elapsed. And we got there late. So like we drove from Fort Myers to Orlando, which is like a 3-hour drive. But we booked it, the first one, like 7:00 when we woke up. So by the time we got to the park, we already had like 3 of them booked. And then as they opened, we could just do the next one. So we actually hit every single ride at Epcot that day. Yeah, we saw absolutely everything. Even like the Nemo turtle guy talks to kids. At near the end of the day, we were just like, I think we can go for the achievement here and just like nail them all. Fuck it. I don't know what this is. This is like for like 10-year-olds and under. We're going. And like the 2 of us are there while Crush the Turtle talks to the kids at the front. And we're like, yeah, Crush.
You were loving it. Don't even lie.
Lauren was obsessed. They had a Cars one too. So it was like the same style. What's his face from Cars comes out and he talks to all the kids and he just race. He was there. Lightning McQueen. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But the second day we did Star Wars.
Oh.
And Star Wars was fucking cool. We did Disney, Harry Potter a few years back, like the Harry Potter World.
Is that cool?
Diagon Alley. It's very much the same thing. Like you go through a corridor and all of a sudden you're basically in that world. Like it's so crazy immersive the way they do it.
What's the world in Disney, like for Star Wars?
It's called Galaxy's Edge.
So it's not like Tatooine or it's not like...
No, it's kind of like just a classic scrapyardy kind of vibe. Like, okay, it's kind of like a Tatooine kind of vibe, right? Okay. Like the little like storefront shops and things, but it's not really Tatooine. In general, it's just like, yeah, classic like Resistance. It's very a lot of trees, a lot of like rainforesty kind of thing. So maybe even where are the Ewoks from? Oh my god, I'm a bad Star Wars fan. Uh-oh. Anyways,
I forgot what it's called too. Now. I'm trying to think about it.
That kind of vibe. Yeah, you gotta look it up. We're screwed. Someone's gonna call us out. But it was that kind of vibe. But it was so immersive in that like they've got obviously the troopers walking around. They've got Kylo coming out every now and then just interrogating random people. Andor, thank you. Yeah, they just like interrogate randoms. And they're like, they've got the officers with the troopers.
Like it too?
Yeah, you can hear it like it's like a voice changer that comes through it, which is really cool. I had this guy, which like, I don't know if anyone can actually hear this. In Disney, everyone has these like ears on, right? But in the Star Wars era, you could buy Grogu or the the little like penguin things that are on Luke's island.
Yeah. Oh, gross! So, you know that scene where he's drinking the milk?
So we had blue milk. We'll get to it. Was cool. It was the whole place is very immersive. So I got one of these. Lauren had the ears, and I was like walking around. I'm like, I've got to get this guy, and it worked out because he like sold out by I don't know 10, 11 o'clock.
How do you sell out at Disney?
I don't know, man.
This is a huge pet peeve of mine.
They didn't even have these in like, so there's a huge park being Hollywood Studios, right? And then on the way into the park, there's all the shops to just buy random shit, all just Disney genre shit. Once you get into Galaxy's Edge, these didn't exist. One of the people that worked at like the cantina came up to me and she was like, "Where did you get that?" Because like I know they don't sell these here. So I'm walking through Star Wars World with this fucking dude on my shoulder. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's
No
hilarious."
way.
Blah. It was just by the front.
Side tangent here. So you know how my whole shoe kerfuffle has been happening, and I've tried on every single pair of running shoes that have been made in 2022 and 2023. So my biggest pet peeve: I go to the Nike store, like the Nike store, and they don't have certain models and / they don't have certain sizes.
Huh?
You're the Nike store. I should be able to go in there and say, I want this product, and you should be bringing it out to me.
Oh, but we can order it for you.
Yeah, we can order. That's not the point. I need to try on this shoe that's not in other stores because it's only in the Nike store.
Right.
It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. If you're a store, like a flagship store like that, you cannot be out of stock on anything. That is it. I get it. You know, they know more than I do about the financing behind all this and, you know, production timelines and the whole chain.
Just from the consumer
manufacturing.
side.
But from the consumer side, you cannot be out of stock if you are Disney and you're selling Grogu, who is
like Star Wars World.
the biggest selling point for anybody just getting into Star Wars. Grogu.
You bring your kids to Star Wars World, like you'll sell 100,000 of these.
Yeah, and Grogu's the thing that's bringing people in. It's not anybody else. It's Grogu. And you don't have him. It's
it's
like,
great. It was kind of wild.
how many billions
another-
billions are they worth? How many billions is that land worth?
Oh my God.
It could be a country.
The last time it could be it could be a small country.
I swear it's self-governing to a certain extent.
No. What do you think? It's like the Vatican? Just
Disney? Yeah. Corporate?
be like, you know what? With the power of Disney, like it's Vatican,
What would you rather
Disney,
have? Grogu or Babu Frick on your shoulder?
If they sold the Babu Frick, I would have done both. Like I think 100% if I could find, if I could, and he would make those noises in my ear all day. Just
like you'd be like, what should I do in this
1000%.
situation?
Yeah, not even a question. That's the good. That's the good and the evil. You got fucking,
Who's the evil one?
obviously fucking Babu
No
Frick.
way.
Yeah,
Darth Babu. I guess. Yeah, you're right. Sith Lord.
Oh God.
Okay, so you walk through. It's sold out.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're getting into like Star Wars World and stuff. The rides, fucking crazy. There was one we got to pilot the Millennium Falcon.
That's pretty cool.
It was you going with 5 people. I was kind of cheesed because I wasn't the pilot, but I was like one of the gunners, so that was cool.
Okay.
But like the pilot was just she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Her kids were yelling at her, and I tried to like line up again, but then we couldn't get the timing to make sense. I was like, I want to get the pilot seat to like drive this shit. Laura and I are in the back, just like shooting harpoons and shooting people and shit. But that ride was cool. Like you go into like it's an actual like 1-for-1 like cockpit of like the Millennium Falcon style, right?
That's pretty cool.
And then lights go out. You're going
You were
like
Chewbacca there, just
basically. That was fun. Then they have like a Rise of the Resistance is their like big flagship Star Wars ride, and that was like the most mind-bending, just the size and scale of everything, and again like the immersion on it. It was probably like 20-25 minutes the course of the ride, but not. The ride was maybe like 5 or less, like 3 or 5.
And there's just a bunch of
but
video
like
stuff
leading
there.
up to it, they put you in one ship, or they put you in like a staging area, and then they kind of like carry out, and you walk through like you see an X-wing, like a full-size X-wing, and like another ship. You go onto the other ship, start flying somewhere. Pretty sure they just drop you underground, and then you get boarded, basically, right? You get caught in the gravity beam, and then you get boarded, and you have to offload. And when you walk out, you're on like a Star Cruiser. But when you walk out, there's like 100 troopers.
like actual people. Though?
I think these are statues. These weren't moving. These were statues, but full size, like normal human size. And you see the big like octagon window of the ship, and it's I don't know 40 times higher than these like human. Like it was an absolutely mind-bendingly massive space, and like full size TIE fighter off in the corner, and you're just walking out, and there's like the Imperial officers, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I in?
Man, you should have videotaped this.
Crazy. I've got some pictures, and I videotaped like the whole ride itself while we were on. And then they walk you down these like corridors that are like 1-for-1, like perfect like ship corridors, line you up, they grill you like shit because they're Imperial officers like in character. It was super cool.
How did you escape?
Well, the resistance comes in, they help you.
That's
It's pretty. So you get locked. They put you in a room. They're supposed to be in this like. You're prepping for interrogation, right? For like the probe droid interrogation.
Is it like a cell where Princess Leia was like,
No, not
Obi-Wan,
quite.
what
I
is
don't
it?
know where we got prepped.
"You're our only hope"?
It was
You're
just
our
some
last
like
hope."
weird place. There was someone said some kind of line like that. And then it's yeah, you get like, I don't know, miscellaneous resistance fighters kind of thing, like get you out and you see like a lightsaber carve through a wall or whatever. And
Really?
not like super intense, but
That's pretty cool, though.
And then where you're seated, then like a droid pops in like into your little thing and he's like, I got you, homie, and you just like take off. And then like Kylo's coming after you and you like turn a corner and you see Kylo and he force pulls you in and shit.
How does that happen? You're strapped in
Yeah, you're in like a ride car at this point.
at this point, but when you walked out, you're not. And then
No,
you
but
just
like
go
when
strap
you're in
into
the
this
ride
other-
car, then it's like 3 minutes of a ride and you're just flying explosions, fucking laser beams, and Kylo's popping out and he's like, and then someone. Anyways, it was pretty cool. But even just the park area was just crazy immersive. You walk through one. Obviously, it looks like picture perfect. You're in some kind of Star Wars planet. But you hear like fighters flying overhead, and like you walk into the area, and I'm like, "What the hell? Like where? What?" Like 2 or 3 times, I was fully like looking up at the sky. I know there's nothing there, but like, where did that come from? It was so cool. They have a blue milk stand, so we got blue milk. Lauren loved it. I thought it was super weird. It just wasn't. It was like a random slushy drink that looked like blue milk and cost me like $9.
Oh my god!
It wasn't amazing. It was like so small. It wasn't great. The cantina was cool. We got super lucky. We thought we weren't gonna get a booking for it. It's like a restaurant,
like Mos Eisley.
yeah, like a Star Wars cantina, like
what it's
classic,
called? Mos
like
Eisley?
yeah,
that's
full like cantina vibes.
That's sick.
We thought we weren't gonna get a spot, and then Lauren was like refreshing the night before, and I guess someone canceled, so we just like snagged like a 2:30 or whatever. That was cool. They had like Star Wars style drinks.
Were
or
they playing the
whatever.
board games there? You know, the hologram.
You could buy them. They had them in
hologram
the stores.
versions?
Not they were like little pieces you move around, but they had them on the Millennium Falcon like ride, the pre for the ride, like the lineup to kind of go through and see. They had a couple of like they had the station for that, like full, like it was on the Falcon. And yeah, just the cantina was cool. They had the guy in the corner playing the music, and the bartenders were all like just in character. The whole vibe. The booths around were like, you know, on shot first, like that booth, right? That whole thing was cool. It was in general just like such a cool experience. And then you could obviously buy random shit. We were going to build. I wanted to build a lightsaber and a droid. Both of those things are pretty expensive and hard to get home. We actually brought this guy home like in a suitcase. For audio listeners, it's like an R2 droid.
That looks like a bomb.
We got stopped coming home, going through U.S. security, and literally there was like we just had a bunch of baby shit, so we kind of go through a separate line, anyways, right? And we had 2 like little baby cups together, and the guy was like, "You have a jar of something in here, and it's in the thing with this," and I'm like, "Oh no, this is gonna be weird, but like it's just a droid from Star Wars," and he's like, "Nah, I don't think that's it." And I'm like, "Sir, it's a droid from Star Wars." It wasn't that at all. But like he opened it up, pulls it out, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're cool, guys. Come on. It's a droid from fucking Star Wars." I want to do a lightsaber, but they're so expensive and so hard to ship. And like they had different legacy sabers, so like other people's that are like a half the price and just in general like kind of cooler.
What do you mean like other people's?
Like what's this, like Obi-Wan's lightsaber or like Anakin's lightsaber.
They're half the price?
They're not. Yeah, they're like replicas, but
How is
the
that half the
experience of like building your
your
own
own.
and like I don't know, that just costs more, and you
True.
get add-ons and stuff. The droid wasn't actually, that was like $150 or something.
Obi-Wan's would have been sick.
Yeah, you can order them like all over the place on the internet.
Should we order some? No, definitely not. Bad idea.
I definitely went down that rabbit hole. I thought about it. Definitely thought about it.
No. Nope.
No, this was cool because you get to build either this guy, like the chopper style droid, like kind of like this but shorter, like the R2 unit but shorter, or like the BB-8 style, which probably would have been cool too because you get to have him like rolling around.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go like classic, and then I thought I could find purple for like I wanted a black body. I thought I would get lucky enough to find like purple bits. I thought when we first walked through the store I could see them, but they didn't exist. And then they've got extra kits. You can buy like kits for the color. But so I've got a second set of a lot of these. I might just spray them purple just so I get what I want. But it's cool. Like it turns its head. It talks like a R2. Yeah, I gotta wake it back up. And then it. I'll wake it back up right now.
Sounds like a pretty good trip though overall.
It was pretty good.
I feel like you at Disney is like you could probably spend a month just at Disney.
Lauren's not much better. Actually,
really?
I think Lauren's worse.
Is she a Disney girl? A Marvel?
Lauren is obsessed with Disney.
Like Pixar or like what part of Disney? Disney's so big now. Discovery Channel?
Classic Disney, like Disney princess stuff. She's all of like the amount of Moana.
Moana's the best, first of all.
Yeah, Moana's the shit. But
that's like the best.
Nowadays, like Ella has a few movie songs that'll like just quiet her down.
Moana?
If Moana's on the list, like You're Welcome is high on the list. Oh my god, what's the new one?
Red? No.
No. Too young for that.
Oh, there's one.
The Family Madrigal. I hear this shit all the time. If I go to Disney, if I go to my Spotify, it's always gonna be in here because that's all that's played. We could plummet through this thing.
Yeah, I think I'm hooked up. What's it called?
Where?
Disney.
I mean, there's obviously
movies.
A lot of Frozen.
Oh,
Encanto.
Encanto?
Yeah.
What's the song?
Are you actually gonna play it?
I don't know. Maybe the Family Madrigal. What else can I do? Waiting on a Miracle. All of you. Surface Pressure. We don't talk about
Bruno. Is the classic. Oh my god, it's actually coming. Yeah, so this is sang at my house like 4 to 8 times a day, probably.
I'm not playing it too much because we're gonna get flagged by Disney.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sued by Disney now.
It was this like 2-person podcast.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so that type of shit's played in my house like daily.
Did you turn it on?
Oh yeah.
Can you hear it? I don't know if people
can he come through? Give him a mic.
That's pretty cool.
Come on, do the yell. There he is. So, needless to say, once we got back, that guy's rolling around. It's remote controlled and it moves. So this guy's rolling around the condo, just like bumping into everybody the entire time. When we got home, our poor dog, Callie, hates this thing so much.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's
whatever.
Very entertaining.
That's hilarious.
That was fun to build. It was a fun little process.
Now you're back.
The fact that he moves, and now then we got a couple more days just hanging out in the sun, and now we're back. That's it. Time to work.
What a way to start 2023.
Yeah. Well,
Chill in Florida. You missed some of the coldest days.
I think we came back. We brought it back. We came back, and it wasn't even like crazy warm in Florida because it's January. Like,
how warm is it?
Some days when we woke up, it was like 2 degrees.
2 degrees
like
Celsius.
Yeah.
Really?
It wasn't like.
And then it gets.
But then there was a couple of 30
days. Did you
days.
go swimming?
Yeah, we like almost every day. Ella loves the water. Ella's a bloody fish.
Really?
We had her in swimming lessons like in Toronto before we left.
In the ocean.
No. Because they have a lot of pools because it's again like
retirement
snowbird community type of thing. There's like 6 pools. So we went to like the main pool pretty much every day just to get her. Like she absolutely loves the water, loves swimming, and it's super warm. We thought about ocean stuff because of like Hurricane Ian. Everything's still kind of fucked up.
Really?
There's a lot of like what's called red tide, which I guess is like.
Don't go in there.
It just doesn't sound good. The sand, I think, in a lot of places was screwed up because a lot of like just everything that got thrown into the ocean and then got blown back. Like a lot of shit is in the sand. There's debris like 6 inches under in some like beaches.
And in parts of Florida, that debris is probably like needles.
Not where we were, thankfully, or where we plan to go. But yes, there's definitely a possibility in lots of places.
Florida man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we didn't.
I'm joking, by the way. Florida sounds like a great, welcoming place.
I don't know. Google Florida man and your birthday. See what comes up. There's always something entertaining.
It's true. I need to go there. I was.
Yeah.
Maybe this year. Maybe next year. I'm planning to do a few trips. I want to go to Vancouver really badly. Haven't been in the West Coast in Canada, and I feel like I should travel Canada first before I make my way to the U.S.
Like a little road trip.
Well, I'm probably gonna fly to Vancouver. I don't want to.
Yeah. That's
pretty
a
far.
heavy,
It's like a 5-hour
heavy
flight,
road
I
trip.
think.
But like if you're going like,
But like do Vancouver, do Calgary, you know, it's close enough. Do that. Maybe go to Seattle for a bit. I know that's not in Canada, but I mean, I'm there anyways.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, for me, that's what I think about when I travel. I'm like,
be
what
fun.
else could I tackle so that I don't have to come back here if I don't love it?
Yeah.
Like then there's like, I went to Halifax earlier, or no, I was going to say earlier this year. I mean, in
Late last year,
October,
right?
Yeah. And I loved it. Like I'm definitely going back to Halifax. There's not many places I've been to that I'm like, oh yeah, this is 100% I'm coming back. But Halifax, I loved it mainly because the food is amazing. I love
everything seafood is
seafood. The lobster is like Nova Scotian lobster is the thing. Like on the planet, that's where you get your.
That's like where it comes from. A lot of it too.
Where
Right?
I was in Greece and I was
fresh.
like, oh, I really want fresh food. There's lobster and it says like Nova Scotian lobster. I was like, ugh, are you kidding me?
Well, then,
So-
if you're this close compared to Greece, you're just gonna go there.
The flights are like $350 for there and back, $400 there and back. You can go there even for like a weekend. You'll just eat like a king.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Relatively reasonably priced for what you're getting. Cheap drinks everywhere. Like really, really nice. Little like you can walk the city in a few hours. Like,
Yeah.
get totally immersed. Anyways, side tangent, but there's cities like that. So go to the West Coast, see if there's a city like that for me there, and then if not, you know, make my way to the U.S. I want to go to Boston. I want to do a couple of the major cities.
Just hit the
Miami's one of them that I want to do. I know I've never been to Miami, so
Neither we thought about going to Miami. We were just like, is that our
it's
scene
a lot
right
with the
now?
baby
And
too.
like,
Like
yeah.
you can't really.
It would have been a lever for a couple of days
Yeah.
trip type of thing, and we're like, we already did this, and then like, what are we gonna do in Miami? Like,
That's
it's
how.
clubs.
That's how I also because
the
I'm
beach
not.
club?
I don't want to club
Yeah.
either. Like I'm kind of past that point in my life, so I don't know about it. But you know, I think that it's
cool to
I
check
think
out.
Miami's a city like Toronto. Well, maybe on steroids, where there's a lot of things to
gotta
do.
be.
Right?
There's
You can
always
go
something.
restaurants. You don't need to go crazy like that. So, which you probably will if you're going to Miami. To be real, you know, it's like going to Vegas. You're gonna be going, you know, to those
unless you go to
pool
Vegas
parties and
to play Warhammer.
no, we don't talk about that. That's not
It's a
allowed. For me.
separate,
That's not allowed.
a separate topic.
My girlfriend has given me a couple of red lines I can't cross. Traveling for any board game or nerd purposes is one of them.
All right, we'll
for
just
now.
call it a bachelor party. Problem solved. It's the sickest
Hey,
bachelor party.
Do you know my
ever.
buddy Trevor? I've never mentioned him before, but yeah, I'm part of his bachelor.
He's throwing a large gathering
yeah.
for an event.
No, we already said how we're going to get around this. It's going to be a real estate conference.
Yeah. There's always a.
Ryan Serhant's
Got to be doing a
holding
conference. There's always some conference. Literally, like I feel like if you go to Vegas, in every like convention hall, you can be going to a convention hall for one thing, and then like there's 17 conferences happening on the same weekend.
I want to give a shout out actually to my girlfriend. So I get like super, and she probably won't watch this, so it's fine, and it's not gonna be bad. But I get like super into things. That's like my whole. If you
Wonder what that's like.
yeah. So I obsess and talk about things so often. Recently, it's been running and running shoes for the last month. It's all I've been talking about, and she puts up with it pretty well. Like she'll just listen to me go on for 30 minutes about different brands and why their running shoes are good and bad.
Running's a good one. It's
and
healthy.
she'll just look at me like, okay, like doesn't care at all what I'm saying, but just letting me get everything out and wanting, you know, letting out my excitement. And so yeah, shout out to you. You're a real one. I'll try. I try holding it back, but there's no holding it back. Yeah,
That's fun.
it is fun.
Oh well.
I mean, we can wrap this up. We
there was a lot of rambling.
We can talk about a lot more, but I mean, you know, why push it out? I think one thing I'll just mention is right now it's conditional, so you know, nothing too firm or anything like that. But locked up a pretty good deal this week.
Are you gonna tell me you're engaged?
Oh yeah,
Conditionally.
conditionally engaged. I guess that's what an engagement is. It's still
Engagement is conditional. Right? I think
no.
that's,
I don't
is that
think
how
there's
it
no.
is?
No, I don't think
Once,
you can be
once
like,
you get
hey.
once you get married, it's firm. Wait,
I feel like if you're
And
gonna engage, if you're
death
gonna,
is closing. That's how this goes. If you're
I don't think
engaged,
so.
it's conditional. When you're married, this is a real estate place after all.
no,
Just-
I don't agree. No, the
go
conditional
downstairs
deal
and
that we
ask.
closed is actually a really good deal on the market.
Oh, good.
Took us 2 weeks back and forth negotiations. Really just hammering it down. We went in with an extreme low ball, stuck with it and inched up a little bit, but we got it for over $100,000 under asking. So, below market value, in my opinion. A comparable property. No, sorry, not a comparable property, but just 10 homes down sold for like almost $1 million, just under $1 million, and the lot size is half the size. The lot size is half the size, so you're getting a property that's almost double. It's like maybe 1.5 times bigger with triple the parking, everything like that. It's split into different units. The other one didn't even have a entrance to the basement, so there's so much going for this property that we just picked up. So anyways, it's still conditional.
But like,
it's one of those properties where we work closely with a home inspector, and he does a lot of a lot for our clients, and we trust him. And it was one of those where he walked in and he's like, "You got this for how much?" And it's this many units.
Those are good. I love that.
Why should I should have bought this? And I'm like, you should have. Yeah, but didn't.
Thank you for assisting in the pitch.
Yeah, so
that's good.
That's all good. So shout out to that one.
It's nice that like you can do that too these days. Like that, this really is that market for like a 2 weeks, grind it out. Like you really work the deals over
better
for buyers.
I think in overall market health,
yes,
this is how it should be to sell $1 million property. I don't like when there's multiple offers. Not because it's a bad situation. It's just there's more chances of letting emotions take over.
100%.
Especially if you're a non-investor. Well, you're always an investor if you're buying properties, but if it's an end user home, it's a lot easier to say, screw it, let's pay $50,000 more.
Especially when the market's been doing what it did for like 2, 3, 10 years. And like, it was always just, well, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to get it. And the way that all the listings were set up was not like, if you have a listing, this is your price, and you end up getting a couple offers on it. Great, you have a great property, and people are interested, and it's usually not going to be like crazy if that just kind of naturally happens. But everything was set up for list for $1. Yeah. Throw whatever number you want on the page and compete with 30 to 70 people. Maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but in some cases not. Then emotions take over and people do stupid things. And it's very nice that that's not the norm anymore. And I'm sure we've got a little bit more of a balancing point. It'll probably kind of come up a little bit from here, but it's nice to think that it could be like this flatline, very balanced market for the next foreseeable future, at least, right?
For sure. Yeah, it's nice.
You get to negotiate, and then people, and like sellers don't think everything is worth whatever sky high price it was. Buyers can kind of have a reasonable expectation based on what they've seen. The market's not going up 10% a month, so you can't like keep up with what's happening. You see a property and it's not going to be gone in 30 minutes. Like it's nice. I
don't like the extreme appreciation. I don't think it serves anybody right. It serves the people who bought properties, 5 years ago, 10 years ago very well, and which is all fine. I'm not saying, those people shouldn't, be happy or whatever, but I think appreciating at inflation plus a little bit of a premium is where properties probably should be, and it makes sense for them to be there. I know there's the camp of people that think that properties should always be worth, be very affordable, but that's just not how things are in our society. And
it's very, very basic it's tough to distill it down to the super basic, but really it is supply and demand. Right, we have especially when you think of like a large metro city, there is a very fixed supply, especially of freehold property. The demand, given the people that are coming into the city, the amount of job growth, the amount of immigration, yada yada yada, is at least with our current building practices and how we're allowed to build units for rent or for like new construction to sell. Supply is always gonna be less than the demand, right? So like eventually, it's always gonna kind of like it might grind up faster than than inflation, right? Is what I'm trying to say.
Which is around 2.5% usually in a good normal year, around that range. So 1.8 to 2.5%.
That's healthy.
And it's healthy.
That's healthy. The gigantic spike was always bound to flip.
Toyota Camry is worth $50,000. Your house is not going to be worth 100,000 in a major city.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
that's just what inflation
What
is.
does a Camry cost these days?
Souped up, probably a souped up Camry. They'll be probably around there. Yeah,
Yuck.
They're up there. Phones are like $1,500.
Our dog food went up like 30% year over year. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything went
Wild.
up. Anyways,
That's super not relevant to
super. I don't think anything is relevant.
Nothing we talk about is relevant.
Yeah. you went on a 22-minute tangent about Star Wars.
Hey, I have a shirt too. I didn't even talk about that. It was tough to find good merch to like wear. There was cool stuff, but it was all so stupidly priced. Disney.
Story
Anyway,
of my life.
sorry for another day.
Story of the last year.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a good. That
is it.
That's a good way to
talk about
end
some
it.
more shit when we get back.
Yeah, we might shoot another one. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.